Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Arsenal put up a show at the Emirates Stadium. They scored 5 against City that first half, and then 1-0. City came back in the second half around 50-something minutes and equalized through Halaand, and he was jogging like, okay, these people are back at the game. Suddenly, mistake from Foden, partey scored, and the goal started flowing, and Arsenal scored 5 to win that game 5-1. Okay, John, look at that game. I don't know what happened to City, but even on a couple of seasons, maybe 2 seasons ago, Arsenal have been matching City. You know, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it's bound that they're going to lose to City 4-1, 3-1, 2-1. But past 2 years, Arsenal has breached that gap. But you didn't expect them to score 5 against City.
Of course, didn't really expect them to score 5. But I was already worried from the lineup when the lineup came out. A certain KDB was not available starting. He was on the bench. We don't know why, but he's on the bench. We had Bernardo Kovacic playing in that midfield, and then in the right back, we had Matheus Nunes again starting in the right back position. This formation was not something that I was looking forward to. But at least if you're going to the Emirates, it's not like you're playing in the Etihad, and then you would expect that Arsenal would be a dominant force in terms of possession, in terms of moving the ball forward. But to the way the City side crumbled after that second goal was like as if all hope was lost, and from there the whole thing went downward because we considered the goal, partey scored, we considered the third goal, considered the fourth goal, considered the fifth goal. Even the fifth goal, you could see that the goalkeeper Arteta didn't even make a dive. It was a goal that could have been saved, but the man didn't even make a dive. He just stood there and watched the ball go into the net. You know, for me, I'm actually livid because I felt that at least, even if you are going to draw points at the Emirates, do it respectfully. Don't just go there and taking 5 goals.
Part of the problem with City, especially in that defense, is that they made a whole lot of mistakes. For just 2 minutes, Akanji has made a mistake and Odegaard scored. I think that the defense, because they have an Akanji and Stone, we are thinking that these 2 guys are 2 good pairings, but they are considering making mistakes, considering goals. What is wrong with City defense? What is wrong with City in this particular season? I don't know. I can't even explain it.
I think one of the biggest challenge for the City side this season has been the fall off from the 4 in a row season. The fall off from that season, having won and achieved what they had achieved in that season, the fall off physically, the absence of Rodri as well in the midfield, because Rodri is the spine of that midfield. Everybody, you know, when you take away a centerpiece from the team that powers everybody, like Odegaard is for us now, and like Saka is for the team as well too, a lot of things collapse. And then secondly, if you look at certain key players in the squad that their performance is dropped, Grealish has not been as involved in the team as he used to be before. We have KDB, who was, even when his feet is on the bench, is not starting for the team. These are issues, and of course Guardiola will not come out to the press and tell you what the problems are, but we know that there are issues there. Is he leaving? Is he staying? You come back and you talk about the back four. I thought that with this guy Kushanov being available and some other defenders being available, they would have started today. But Stones Akanji pairing hasn't worked. It hasn't. They've not played together for a long time or a long run of games together. So there's always going to be that miscommunication in that gap. For me, I would have moved Nunes alongside Kovacic, taking Bernardo Silva off and played somebody else in the right back.
Pep keep insisting on playing Nunes as a right back. I don't know why he keep insisting that. Some of these coaches are stubborn, even though he probably has in the mind that it will work, but it's not working. But it's something Arteta used to do with Partey. Partey as a right back, it does not work, but he keep insisting on that. I don't know why Pep kept insisting on playing Nunes as a right back. Okay, let's talk about Arsenal. You know, I know Arteta will be surprised. Probably he knows that he probably has a chance to win this game,
of course,
because his team have improved. But I don't think he's expecting to score 5.
No, he wasn't expecting to score 5. But the thing is, he has a side and key players in that side that can smell when the opponent, like we're saying, every team in this season has a way of getting a result against City. Why? Because of the mistakes they make.
They make schoolboy mistakes.
Yes, the mistakes they make, and then they look vulnerable in the sense that they are coming off the back of that how many game in a row where they were losing matches and stuff like that. So once they concede, it's up for the grabs. It's up for the taking. Who has the most desire to get it? And you know, 2 or 3 mistakes in this game, 2 or 3 goals to the to the opposite, and that's the story of the game.
Havertz kept missing chances in that game. That game will have ended 7-1 if Havertz had actually this particular chance he missed an open net. I don't know what he was thinking, but let's talk about this young boy, Lewis Kelly. That boy, you know, in the first leg of this game, this particular game, Man City versus Arsenal, I think they had a conversation with Haaland, and Haaland told him, who are you, or who, you know, that word are you? Do you understand? But he scored and did that celebration for Haaland to, you know, mock Haaland. But that boy, he has been sensational. He has kept Caliafuri, that they bought almost £50 million on the bench, kept Zinchenko on the bench. That boy is going to be star for the future.
Yeah, he's a star for the future, and he's already proving it. We saw his goal in the previous game before this one, the one where he was sent off later on in that match, even though he had scored. We saw that performance. He showed himself there. He showed himself again in the game in the Champions League as well. Then in this game again, he got another very important goal. The 2 goals from the 2 young lads in Arsenal right now were fantastic. The nwaneri cut and then shoot straight into the net, and then Lewis Kelly's own taking on the players he took on and then scoring the opportunity. I felt that he's one for the future. You could see him and nwaneri hugging after the match. You could tell what it means for them to be young in the club and then performing. The future is looking bright for them.
Finally, Arteta, partey, right, and Odegaard works. This is the 3 center midfielder you should be using. I don't know why you keep changing this thing. It works, it works. These 3 guys can, because if you look at how the Rice played, Rice was every, he had 2 assists. Partey was marshalling defense. Odegaard has been Odegaard since he came back. I don't know why you keep changing that thing, but Arsenal winning that game 5-1. This particular game will give them a confident boost. You know, even though that Liverpool has 6 points now ahead of them with the game in hand, but imagine Liverpool thinking that Arsenal beating City 5-1. It gives them a confident boost to chase Liverpool to this title race. But let's talk about the 2 coaches finally. Arteta, do you think that he can still win this title? You know, he's chasing Liverpool. Liverpool 6 points with the game in hand. Liverpool have been winning games, so they are not dropping points. But do you think that they have a chance to win this title now?
For me, I would say that until it's mathematically impossible for Arsenal to win the title, the mentality and the mindset should be, we are chasing Liverpool and we are going to win the title. That's the mentality. Even if you fall short, the mentality is, we are chasing Liverpool, we are going to win the title. It's 6 points. 6 points is not a mountain. 6 points is not 9
Just 2
points.
games.
Just 2 games is 6 points, and you don't even really need it to be 2 losses. It could be 2 draws and you win your game and you close those points on them. And we said that the game in hand is against Everton. It's not going to be a walk in the park. So the most important thing for Arsenal to do right now is focus on themselves, win their games and get their points. For me, Havertz would have had a terrible day today if he didn't get on the score sheet.
Exactly.
Because it would have brought a lot of scrutiny on him, his performances, why Arsenal need the person up front and stuff like that. But at least he got in the goal today. Can we just maintain this same performance, this same work ethic into the remaining games of the season?
Arsenal should buy, the window is closing tomorrow. Arsenal to buy a striker, yes or no?
Yes, of course. Ole Watkins is available. Buy Ole Watkins.
They cannot buy Watkins.
Rashford, John Duran left. Rashford is inbound into Manchester United. Rashford is inbound into Aston Villa. Aston Villa are still looking at Asensio. Aston Villa are looking at João Felix. Any point in time, they could get Rashford and João Felix in, and they can let this man go if they wish.
Okay, Pep Guardiola, he is now in the battle of top 4. Will he qualify? Do you think that City can qualify, make top 4 this season?
I think he's on the table. Until, like I said, he's on the table. He's doable this season. I think where City need to work on is the starting lineup. We keep coming back to the starting lineup. If you start right and you start with the mentality to go out and get a result, you will show. Unlike if you start and you have people making careless mistakes that are very costly at the end of the day. That's where I feel there's an issue, because once you make a mistake and you concede, you are apprehensive, you don't want to make the mistake again, and you start overthinking basic passes and runs forward, and before you know, 2 mistakes, 2 goals, and you lose the game.
Let's see what happens. It was a thrashing at the Emirates where Arsenal scored 5 against City. Pep Guardiola.